Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Nash County Board of Education's November 6th meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We are joined this evening by students from Bienvenue Elementary School, and they are Aiden Baker, Aiden Carter, Faith Shapamba, Cameron Joyner, Arian Reynolds, and Camden Braswell.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great job. Great job, sir.
Hey, good evening. How are you? How are you doing?
Congratulations.
Good evening. Good to see you. Good evening.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
Good evening.
Good job.
Good evening.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
coming.
I like that shirt.
Thank you for coming.
Good job. Thank you. Good job. Thank you, honey. All right, they did an awesome job. Let's give them a hand as they depart. Awesome. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move we adopt the agenda.
Second.
Motion was made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Dr. Chavis for the record. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Board Member Edwards. For the record, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Recognitions, Dr. Ellis.
Tonight we are recognizing the NCTA's PHPS hero, Alessandra Abraham. Please come forward. Mr. Abrahams is a custodian at Fairview Elementary School. He was nominated for our Hero Award for this unmatched work ethic and endless dedication to Fairview Elementary. He prides himself on making sure the school shines literally. Thanks for being a shining example of a true hero. Congratulations.
All right, we are now at agenda item number 6, which is our public input. Each month, a part of at least one regularly scheduled board meeting will be set aside for citizens to address the board through public comment. A sign-up sheet will be available in the communications office for any individual or group to indicate their desire to address the board. Disruptions by any person or persons of a public meeting will be subject to action in accordance with General Statute 143-318.17. If anyone has further questions, please refer to Nash County Public Schools Policy number 2310. And we do have two individuals that have signed up for this evening. The first is Bianca Fields. Bianca Fields. All right, Ms. Mary Arrington.
Good evening,
Good evening.
all of you all in your respective places. I'm glad to be back again. I am standing here tonight in regards to our students and bus drivers. Recently it was brought to my attention, and we as bus drivers, we are trying to be professional on all ends. It was brought to my attention, I'm driving the bus. For a child's safety, I crosses the yellow line because numerous of cars have passed my stop arm. We have written them down, my monitor and I. Other bus drivers had this problem also. Nothing is done. We have all of those cameras in the bus. Something need to be done because this is for child's safety. And I've been driving for a while and I've been doing this, and I'm going to continue to do it if I have to look out for that child. We are children driven, and that's what I'm all about. And that's what I intend on doing. Now, if there's some changes come, it need to be brought to the bus drivers what we can do or what can be done. But with all these cameras, they need to be picking up people that's running the stop arm. Is the cameras for the students or is it to spy on your bus drivers? That's what I would like to know. We have this done all the time. Cars run the stop arms. I'm gonna look out for my child. If my child is crossing the line, sometimes kids, small kids, they don't watch the hand signal, they run. I pulls my bus cross the line for my child to get off safety. And this is a letter that was wrote in response to this. But we as bus drivers are looking out for our students. Would you all rather have a dent in your bus or a dead child on your hands? Now, I'm not gonna have one on my hands, and I'm gonna continue doing what I have to do to keep my child safe. Thank you.
All right, we are now at business items number 7. We'll start with donations. Dr. Ellis.
Dear board members, please accept this request for the following donations. Fairview Elementary School received the following donations. Dominion Outreach Ministries donated $1,000 to be used for the Backpack Buddy program. Charles C. Davis donated $600. $100 will be used for the library and $500 will be used for general funds. Middlesex Elementary School received the following donations. Provision Rock Farms donated 36 Amazon gift cards valued at $1,656 for instructional staff to purchase items for their classroom. Middlesex Police Department donated $625 to be used for the annual Shop with a Cop program. And City High School received the following donation. Rocky Mount Kiwanis Club donated $400 to be used for the establishment of the City High School Key Club.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we accept these donations with much gratitude and thanks. Second.
Motion was made by Dr. Tavis, seconded by Board Member E. Bullock. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposition, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 2, under business items, is personnel recommendations. Ms. Wallace.
Good evening, Chairman Dr. Washington, Vice Chair Danton, virtual and in-person board members. The personnel report has been shared and discussed. On behalf of Superintendent Ellis, your approval is requested at this time.
Is there a motion to approve the personnel recommendations?
Madam Chair, I move we approve the personnel recommendations.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Board Member Lamb. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Mrs. Wallace. Item number 4 is demerger plan, Dr. Ellis.
So you're gonna see that the demerger plan, is in for review. We, the only thing we added was the transfer assets that we discussed, later or earlier in this meeting. So it just needs to be voted on tonight.
Is there a motion to approve the demerger plans?
Motion to approve the demerger plan.
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Lamb, seconded by Vice Chair Dunton. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair, I just want to commend our superintendent and staff for doing a phenomenal job in working with the other 3 entities to ensure this is taken care of expeditiously. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. We're at agenda item number 8. The policy committee update, Ms. Bullock.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before I make a motion on behalf of the policy committee, I would like to ask Mr. Weber if he would talk with us for just a second on policy 1310/4002, policy 3210, and policy 4720. Mr. Weber.
Thank you. Board members, so on your agenda for tonight, and this is the same when these were on for first read, there are 2 different versions of policy 1310, 4720, and 3210 for your consideration. There is the original NCSBA version posted on your agenda and for you to consider, and then there are versions of each of those 3 policies that contain the NCSBA's recommended revisions, as well as additional revisions made by my office. So when the board is considering these tonight and approving them, it would help to be specific as to which version of those policies you're approving. With policy 1310, that's where our office made some of the most or more substantial revisions. That policy contains 2 new appeals processes related to different parts of the Parents' Bill of Rights. One has to do with parental requests for information. The other has to do with parental concerns with various other requirements in the law. What we've done is we've layered on top of the NCSBA proposed revisions some additional structure to those appeals processes with clear timelines to give some clarity both to parents who want to take advantage of those complaint processes and as well as principals who are participating in them, as well as board members too, because those appeals ultimately come to you. With policy 4720, we've just recommended one additional change that has to do with consent to participate in surveys pertaining to certain topics. The policy as written by NCSBA just provides for written consent. The statute authorizes written or electronic. So we've just added or electronic into that policy to clarify that consent can be provided one of those 2 ways. And policy 3210, that is your policy on parental inspection of and objections to classroom materials. That policy from NCSBA has been revised to comply with the Parents' Bill of Rights. We've added on some additional flexibility for your staff that the Parents' Bill of Rights allows if there is a request from a parent to review materials, and if it will take more than 10 days for the principal to respond. The Parents' Bill of Rights allows for up to 20 days for that response. The NCSBA model policy only allows for 10. So our revisions have, we've revised it just to allow the amount of time that's allowed under the particular statutes. I'm happy to answer questions about those, but I would ask that that if there is a motion to approve these, that is clear as to whether the board is approving the NCSBA version of those three policies or the NCSBA plus Tharrington Smith version of the policies. And again, that's policy 1310, 4720, and 3210.
So for the sake of the motion, if we could just say modeled or updated or revised, that, I think that would provide the clarity.
All right, well, Madam Chair, I would, if there are no questions about policies, I move that we approve policy 1310, 4002, 3210. I'm sorry, start again. Policy 3210. Yes, policy 1310 and policy 4720 with the, what was your word?
Revised or updated?
Revised, with the revised
Language.
language by Tharrington Smith.
Is there a second? Motion made by Board Member E. Bullock, seconded by Vice Chair Dunton. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
All right, Madam Chair, with that being done, I move that we approve policies 1310/4002, 3210, policy 3540, policy 4335, policy 4720, and policy 6120, and policy 7300, as presented for final approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made by Board Member E. Bullock, seconded by Board Member Sharp. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
Madam Chair, we also have policy 4316, which is for information only. We also have policy 7940, classified personnel suspension and dismissal for first read. I move that we approve policy 7940 as presented for first read.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Board Member E. Bullock, seconded by Board Member Gray. Is there any discussion? Yes.
And this is the one where we talked about the reemployment?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
In that, and just refreshing my memory.
May versus.
So,
Yeah,
will or may?
will versus may, change the will to may.
And what was, our attorney had some comments that night, I'm just trying to refresh. You guys put it in your you said you made the change?
No, the policy, the panel that had a hearing, and we were the panel for a hearing, and we recommended that change from that one word.
Is there any further discussion?
You had some comment that night about it.
I'm happy to answer questions.
I'm just trying to remember what his comment was that night. If you don't remember, you don't remember that.
No, that's okay. So again, this is your classified personnel dismissal policy. Your classified staff, those are your non-licensed staff, they're at-will employees, so they can be fired for any reason or no reason, as long as it's not discriminatory, essentially. The NCSBA model version, which is what you have, also states that any employee who is terminated for cause, which means for a reason, right, whether it's misconduct or violation of board policies, that they will not be, that they will be ineligible for reemployment. So that's a hard and fast rule that's stated in policy. If you're terminated for cause, you're not eligible for reemployment. This change would remove that hard and fast rule and build in discretion so that they may be ineligible. Again, it just takes the hard rule and allows for discretion on the part of administrative staff. It may impact to some extent, these kinds of hard and fast rules can be beneficial in some circumstances. In others, you might want flexibility. Again, the default under your current policy is that there is no discretion with these particular terminations.
Is there any further discussion? Yes.
With that being said, there's still an avenue for them to file a grievance. Even after they've been fired, they can file a grievance and go through the grievance process, correct?
Well, so for an employee who's been terminated, this would be essentially their complaint process. I suppose in theory, they could also file a grievance. But if they want to appeal the termination, they use this policy and this process. And it creates an appeal that goes to a panel of board members.
So it's still available to them, even the way the policy is written currently, to have their job back.
That's right, absolutely. So, so under this policy, the superintendent has delegated authority to terminate your at-will employees, and then those employees get notice, obviously, and then they have, I think, 15 days to submit an appeal. So if they want to dispute it for whatever reason and keep their job, get their job back, they would be able to take advantage of that and go before a panel of the board.
So the way it's currently written, with it being shall or not shall, but will, they still have that avenue to get their job back.
They do, they can appeal.
Thank you.
That's right.
Further discussion?
Yes, but with the current policy, they are eligible for a hearing. And if the panel opposes the superintendent's decision, then while that person may not be suitable for the position that they had, they may be suitable for another position. But with the way the policy stands today, there is no recourse at all for that person to be able to apply for another job or be employed by this district in another position at all.
If they were terminated for cause, that's right.
Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
No.
Okay, nays, please raise your hand for the record. Got it. Dunton, Bissett, who else? Jenkins and Edwards. Got it. Thank you. Motion carried. All right, next item is administrative services. Item number 9, Mr. Sharp, please.
Madam Chair, the Administrative Services and Operations Committee met, and we would like to make a recommendation to the full board to adopt the budget resolution for the fiscal year 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Board Member E. Bullock. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right. Item number 10 is student support services. Mr. Edwards.
The Student Support Services and Operations Committee met last week, and we were updated about transportation by Michael Bear, and it was for information only.
Thank you. Item number 11, Ms. Thomas Bullock.
Oh, yes, the Academic Services and Accountability Committee met last week, and we actually approved a couple of items to go before the board. If it's okay, Madam Chair, I'll group those into two parts. The first part was the low performing TSI and CSI designations. I recommend that to go before the full board, along with the advanced math law, if that's okay.
All right, so you'd like to combine the motion for the two items? I'm okay with that as long as you're, as long as the board members don't have an issue with combining those items. Mrs. Thomas Bullock has made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Mrs. Thomas Bullock, seconded by Mr. Gray. Is there any discussion on those two items? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Okay, and the second items that I would like to combine MOUs for Breckenridge, Wilson Pines, as well as Nash Community College. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to make a motion to combine those two for approval before the full board.
Right, is there a second for the
Second.
two MOU items?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Thomas Bullock, seconded by Dr. Chavis. Is there any discussion on those items? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. All right, so we're at item number 12, the superintendent's report.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Going to give you a few dates. November is CTE Career Development Month. We will be spotlighting students and staff this month. We now have over 10,000 downloads for our new Nash app. November 6th through December 2nd, Best of the Best High School Art Exhibit will be located at the Bel Air Center. November 7th is Kindergarten Parent Transition Parent Meeting. That'll be at TRC from 5 to 6. And just encourage parents to visit our website to get the latest updates. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ellis. I first want to recognize our guest tonight. We have a Boy Scout troop here tonight, doing great things, earning their citizenship award. So I'd like to recognize them if they would stand. Good work, and thank you for being here. November is Child Safety Protection and Native American Heritage Month. I know that October is gone, but I want to say thank you and congratulations to Chad Thompson and his team on the success of the CTE Roundup event. If you missed it, then you missed a treat. It was a perfect balance of learning and fun. Mr. Thompson, you have set the bar high, and I'm looking forward to next year's event. As always, I say to each and every employee in this school district, thank you for being the best part of Nash County Public Schools and make it a great November. Reminders, committee meetings, Monday, November 27th at 5 p.m. December work session will be on Monday, December 4th at 5 p.m. And of course, our December board meeting, Monday, December 4th at 6:30 p.m. If there is no further business to come before this board on this evening, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Board Member Edwards. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Have a great evening.